All right, we're working on this Dakota, and I'm just changing out these high pressure crossover lines for the power steering. They are starting to leak and they are super rusty. So the fittings here, these are the lines that I'm talking about. They're the little ones. These two bigger ones, there's a pressure feed and a return line that comes out. Not those ones, but these two little ones, they just cross over on the rack. And all the fittings are 13 millimeter. So I'm using a line wrench. I've sort of pre-cleaned the rack off a little bit. It was super greasy and dirty. You can see how rusty these lines are right here. And they're probably going to be seized in, the lines will be seized in the fittings themselves. But we're gonna give it a try and see. Yeah, so you can see even with the 13, it's so rotted away that it's not a 13 anymore. So I'm gonna see if maybe ½ inch might do the trick. This one's got some slop in it too. Normally, so the best way to do these is just cut the line right off and put a socket on there. That's your best chance of getting the nut out without stripping it. But I do like to try to keep the lines intact when I'm building lines, because it's nice to have the shape of the line so you can make yours up and match it up with the line that you took off and make sure that, you know, it's pretty much the same, and then they just go right on. So I think what I'm gonna do is get my little Sawzall out and I'm gonna trim those off. I'm just gonna cut them off and then we can, we'll get those out. Just make note of which line goes where, because you do not want to put those on backwards, otherwise your steering's not going to work very well. All right, see if we can get this other line off now. And I'm going to try ½ inch socket. Here. Maybe it was ½ inch all along. That fit perfect. But 13 did fit really good on this side. Yeah, smaller. All right, I used a 13 millimeter line wrench on this side to break it free, and I'm just using a regular wrench right now. We're just gonna wind this out. Before I take the fitting completely out, I'm gonna try to clean off that area all around it. I don't want anything getting inside of that port that might cause a sealing issue with the lines. If I'm not 100% sure, we're gonna find out in a second when I pull this line off, but I'm pretty sure these have O-ring fittings on them. Which is a different style of line compared to a bubble flare or a double flare. The O-ring flare is a little bit different, and I have some lines that are pre-made sitting in the back. So if it does actually need those, I will show you what they look like. Most steering racks use that style, and you can buy them online pre-made for your vehicle application for most vehicles, or if you want to make them yourself, you can do that too. There's a bunch of companies that sell pre-flared lines that are just straight. You get them in different lengths.
That'll be the way to do this if you don't have experience doing lines. Yeah.
For sure.
We'll put it in the description.
It's kind of funny, like I don't know of any dealers or manufacturers that sell those crossover lines.
Oh,
like if you were to go to Toyota and say, I drive a 99 Camry and I need crossover lines, they'd be like, you gotta buy the whole rack, because we don't sell those lines. They'll sell the pressure and return line and cooler lines, but those high pressure crossover lines, they don't sell them. Dodge didn't sell them either. I'm gonna reuse these fittings. They look like pretty standard fittings, but there's so many different fittings nowadays. I like to, if the nut's in good shape, which they're not, they're gonna clean up fine. And we'll probably never have to take these off again. I'm sure by the next time these lines start to leak or rot out, which they won't because I'm gonna use nickel copper, but the truck's gonna basically be in the scrapyard by then, if I had to guess. So reusing these, as long as they're not completely shot, I say thumbs up.
So these are non-O-ring?
Yeah, these are non-O-ring. They have, they're just a bubble flare, and that's it. So fairly simple flare to do. And I'll show you on the bench once we make up our piece that we need. I just got to get this other section of line out. So we've seen this fitting on this side's pointed straight up. The other one is on the front of the rack, right in the center, and it's sort of pointed straight forward and up a little bit. So I'm gonna see if I can get the wrench in there. There's lots of room to get in there. It's just sort of awkward because you're against the frame, right? So the wrench is gonna be hitting the frame, and the motor sits above that, so. All right, so this one I've used the line wrench to break the nut free, and then I'm just using a short wrench to slowly work this line out. It's the most difficult to get to out of all of them. Yeah, the crow's foot's a little bit better. Just can't really see what I'm doing. Everything's so greasy. I don't really have a good handle on the tools. I'm trying to recreate these flares as close as I possibly can. You can see how it's really flat there. So with this tool, this is a double flare tool, and you can see how the inside piece of the die there is sort of concave, and that's going to give it that bubble shape. So I just use the hammer and flatten that down to give me a flat flange, and should work just fine. This this line is is quarter inch. So quarter inch line. Most power steering high pressure crossover lines are 3/16, but in this truck it's quarter inch. So I've got the fittings cleaned up. They actually didn't turn out too bad. And I'm just gonna throw this one on. And then we're ready to start bending it up. Luckily, these lines are fairly simple. The most difficult part is going to be these tight bends. So even with the nickel copper line, that's, you know, pretty easy to bend, the tight bends is the main struggle when building custom lines. I do have a bending tool, but it doesn't do that tight of a radius. So in order to bend something like that without the line kinking, I use a wheel lock key just for the curvature. And you can see like there's a couple of cutout grooves, and I just lay the line in there and work it around. You can use other round tools too. I stick tools in a vise, sometimes screwdrivers, anything to just give me that curve, and then I'll just work the line around it. And if the line does start to kink a bit, which it will, I just put it back into the vise and squish the line, and it'll actually bring it back up. So I'm guessing we will start here. Now, to get the length of this, very simple. I just mark the bench and then sort of just follow this along and work my way along till I get to the end of the line. That roughly gives me the length of line that I need. So we'll throw this in and start bending up.
go.
All right, so we've got our lines in here. Now we're just getting all of our threads started. We got our lines on, snugged up all the nuts, and made sure that none of the lines were touching each other. Now we're gonna go ahead and fill up this power steering fluid reservoir. And just gonna put a bunch in, because obviously we've been losing some. And I'm just gonna keep an eye on the level. We wanna fill it up pretty much the maximum line. And then what I'm gonna do is just turn the key to the on position and dry steer a bunch of times from lock to lock in order to try to burp some of the air that's now in the system out and up to the reservoir. I'm gonna repeat that process, check the level until the level stops going down. And then I'm gonna start the truck up. But I'm basically just gonna start it and shut it off. And start it and shut it off. Basically just run the pump to try to cycle some more fluid through to get as much air out as I can. I hate just firing it up because it blends all that air into the oil, and when it's all aerated like that, it can, never seen it happen, but could damage the pump. It sounds horrible, it's just not good. So okay, so I basically just did that a few times. And then I'm gonna go back here, pull the cap off, check the level. I expect it to be down a little bit. It's probably sucked down. And it's pretty much right at the maximum. I guess I'll fire it up, let it run. Same thing. Okay, I'll lift it up now and just take a look underneath, make sure we're not leaking. Probably just give it a quick wipe down once over, and that's that. All right, that's pretty much it. If you have any questions, throw them in the comment section below. I'd be glad to answer any questions you might have. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it or if it helped. And don't forget to subscribe. We'll see you in the next one.